Hey, hey, welcome back to the Scorpio channel. My name is Laura. I'm going to do a general message for Scorpio. Know that energy is fluid. Roles could be reversed. Interpret the message as it best resonates with you. Also know on this channel, I like to go deep within my readings. So I look at everything, but we take more time to look at the spiritual blocks, the shadows, see how they play it as karmic themes. This will help you see why you attract who you attract and what you could do to possibly shape shift your situation. And that's really important when you're stuck in a karmic loop. You're dealing with the same type of experiences that keep you stuck in a place of limitation, place of disempowerment, makes us not feel good over time. So you always want to be able to heal the effects of your trauma, which happens when you have spiritual blocks. And it's again, it creates trauma, psychological and emotional trauma. And that's what creates a tremendous amount of just pain and suffering, not just physical issues, but pain and suffering, because no one wants to feel as if they, can't have love. Especially when we are love, right? We're here in physical form to learn and to manifest. You are an expression of love. That's what you're down here to do. And that's by giving and receiving of love. And we do this by, again, becoming what it is that we want to share. And by giving and receiving of love, it's again by giving of our energy. So when we're in a toxic relationship, what happens is that we're not able to give our plans, our life, the energy that it needs to in order to flourish, to grow. What happens is it keeps us stuck. So in order to break karmic contracts, to break karmic themes or karmic looping, and to stop karmic looping, I should say, we have to have awareness of how we're contributing to that karmic loop, that karmic situation. Then we have to do something different. This is the integration process by seeing what we did, was looking at things from a different perception, seeing what we need to do, and then the transmutation process, which is taking all that negative energy that has been accumulated from being in that type of connection or whatever the karmic situation is that has kept us in a place of disempowerment, a place of fear, taking that energy and transmuting it into something that's going to be positive, something that's going to allow us to see a different outcome. So there's always a 3-step process to your healing. And you don't need years and years and years of therapy, though people think that you do. What you need is, and the reason why I say that, because I feel like a lot of times therapy, like when we just go to therapy without actually applying the information to our life, we never see a different outcome. So it's not that, I shouldn't say we don't need years and years of therapy. Some people really feel like they do need years and years and years of therapy. But unless they actually do something to integrate the spiritual lesson, they're going to need therapy for the rest of their life. They're never going to get strong within themselves, because we get strong within ourselves when we get to see ourselves different, when we get to see a different outcome. And therapy alone doesn't do that. It's the actual integration, it's the actual transmutation process. And shadow healing helps you do that, while therapy helps you have the awareness of what's blocking you. Eventually, through you talking, spiritual, there's an awareness, and then there's an actual application process. And that application process is not just about doing affirmations and about doing tapping and about doing these modalities that are very helpful to help you prepare to actually ground and transmute the negative energy. But it's not the actual transmuting the negative energy. Again, we have to apply something different. So even though you'll have awareness here, unless you apply the information to your relationship, you'll still be stuck. You are the creator of your own life. You have the power within you because you have the divinity inside of you. The divinity is that energy that is the highest vibrational energy, and it's known to some as God, it's known as the universe, it's known as unconditional love. When you are balanced and in your perfect state, that's the energy that you are. Now, when we attract situations and experiences to us that create the imbalance, we know because we're angry, where there's an emotional energy that needs to be integrated. Otherwise, that energy stays with us and we become a magnet for more situations and experience that hold that vibration. Now, if you're someone that's in need of shadow healing, check out my Patreon link. Oh, I had like a cough that I was trying to stop. Okay, so if you want to do shadow healing, I have a coaching shadow healing program for just $7.99 a month, and you get inner child healing, shadow healing, reparenting, and all the healing modalities to heal the effects of trauma. That's important if you find that you're like stuck in like a karmic contract with someone where you're just miserable. Karmic contracts are miserable. It keeps you bound to like a place of pain and suffering. It's you've gone through the experience several times before, but now you're like stuck with a person and you don't really see a way out, where really there's always a way out, but it will require work. It will require paying a lot of karma for, and that's like person has to is going to be prolonged within living the life that they want to experience because of having to pay off the karmic debt. Usually that's what happens. All right. Now you want to enter into winning a free reading with me, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and write the word of the video in your comment bar. Now the word of the video just kind of just slid out there, so we're going to take it, and it is cruel. Cruel. That's the underlying energy. I feel like you're in connection with someone that when you met them, they were not nice. And they're reflecting back on it. And I feel like you went through a lot of things that they know by yourself that they didn't give any energy to, and where they know now, they look back and they say, I should have been there. So you might have had deaths in your family. You might have had some sort of sickness, an operation, something where this person, like I said, should have been there for you, but they weren't there for you. They're also seeing like the things that you asked for weren't really a lot. But they're reflecting on it now. When you were dealing with this person was extremely toxic. I feel like they're dealing with someone that's very cruel. I feel like this person is actually paying off karmic debt right now. I feel like there's someone that really was a very selfish person and didn't really think about other people. And I even feel like they were married, or they were in a long-term relationship for some time, and they were disrespectful in that connection. And I feel like it's almost like no matter what they do, um, it used to be able to be amicable, like the connection, and now it's not. So I'm kind of feeling like this person's in a place that they're so uncomfortable and they're being treated the way that they once treated you, that's why they're forced to see how they treated you. And they know that you didn't deserve it. So this is the underlining energy. Now let's see how they were cruel. And lying, just deceiving. Like, I feel like this person would tell half truths. I feel like they get gaslighted. They made you perceive. This person acted like they had to work all the time. They acted so busy that they didn't give you any time. They didn't want to give time. They didn't want to give you anything emotionally, but they wanted passion from you. That's what I feel like they wanted. There was an attraction there. And I feel like this person pretended to be someone that they weren't. They created a lot of illusions. Again, they could have pretended that they were a big boss of a company, or again, had more money than they actually did. I feel like they hid behind a facade where really they didn't want to give you the time and energy. They wanted to be a player. That's what I feel like when you met this person. And it kind of triggered them. It kind of triggered them that you didn't want to that you wouldn't just give in to them. They had expectation that you were just going to be with them. They perceived you as being someone that was a little naive, someone that, doesn't run around with a lot of relationships, someone that wanted a serious relationship. And again, they thought that they could deceive you into pretending that they wanted the same thing. And now it's again, when you were with this person, I feel like you were tired. This person was very draining because you never knew what you could get with them. There's the sense that they're a cheater, they're a liar. You knew that, and that they were just very draining because again, always trying to get over. And I feel like this person now is in a place where they feel really drained. I feel like this person needs to be with people that they steal their energy from. I feel like they're a bit of an energy vampire because there's a sense that they like getting over on people. There's a sense that if you see it's this person does not feel bad about telling half truths, leaving information out. They don't care. They want what they want. They feel like they're entitled to have what they want. And I feel like that's the energy that you're just too selfish for me because you're draining. I can't trust you. You're in a relationship with me, and emotionally, you don't care about how you treat me. You haven't been there for me. You haven't given anything. You're always trying to get over on me. You tell me half truths. And it's again, you just make me angry. To be honest with you, because I feel like you think I'm a dummy because you don't have my best interest at hand. And I feel like you're angry. You feel like this person has been through so many bad relationships that they're making you pay for their bad relationships. That's what it feels like. You're like, this person is angry because they've been in bad relationships where they've lost a lot of money. They feel as if they were victimized. They feel as if their reputation has been ruined. Because again, they're very one-sided. You're not the only person that they've deceived or tried to deceive. It's just, I feel like you didn't fall for their deception. You might have a little bit in the beginning when you first meet someone, you give people the benefit of the doubt, but it was not long before you realized that there was something off with this person, and it made you again feel tired and drained because you're like, I don't feel safe with them. I feel like they're either dating someone else, married to somebody else, not really that interested in me, pretending to be interested in me, but their actions are not in alignment with their words. I ask them questions, they avoid the question, they stonewall me. It's again, and it's always the same thing. It's like I can't seem to get over the memory. It's like once you have betrayed somebody, this is how you are, you've already betrayed me once. You've already lied to me. So at this point, that memory is kind of stuck in my head that even if you were to act nice, I still would be kind of waiting for the shoe to drop. That's number one. Number two, it wasn't that it just went we had this issue once. This was an issue that went on for years, where again, you come in and you, again, to show me a half truth, pretend that you want the relationship, give me a few breadcrumbs, then you retreat. again, then when I try to talk to you about it, you don't want to talk to me about it. It's all about you trying to get what you want and not have it a real equal give and take reciprocity type of relationship, which is so draining. It's so like, I feel like it gave you a lot of anxiety. I feel like I feel like this person's always trying to get over on me. I feel like it would be like sleeping with the enemy, because your words do not match your actions. I know that you're undervaluing me. You're not giving me time. You're giving me a few breadcrumbs and then you're pretending that it's so much, and you're lying and saying that you're busy with work and that you have other things. But really, then I see pictures on your social media that you go out. Then I see that you go out, or I hear about it through other people. So really what it is that you just don't want to give me the time. And you're actually not really even hiding the fact that you're going out and you're doing this stuff. Your words just don't match your energy. And when I say something to you, you again avoid me. You avoid me. You act like I'm asking for too much. You feel as if um you that I'm stagnating your energy. And I feel like, and also like you're like you are undervaluing me, and there's a sense of like you're either ashamed of me, that or that you don't find me attractive, or I'm not good enough for your friends, or and that could be because you are very different from this person. You may be into um nature and drum circles and dancing on the beach, and this person's very conservative, so there's a sense of different worlds. So you're like, I don't understand, you tell me one thing, then what I see is something else, and then when I say something to you, you avoid me, you stonewall me. I feel like you're ashamed of me. I don't actually know what it is. I just know that you're undervaluing me. And I feel like we keep going through this. This is a karmic cycle that doesn't seem to ever stop. It's just me having the conversation. And I feel like you started to realize, because you kept having the conversation with this person, that that's all that this person wanted, was the confirmation of how much you care, and the conversation of you saying, hey, listen, we've been through this before. Then they're like, oh, you still have feelings for me. I don't really have to give you anything. And if anything, I'm going to punish you. Now, I'm glad that I know how much you care about me, but I'm not going to give you anything more. I'm going to, again, avoid you, because I don't really want to give you what you want. I don't want to be fair. And again, you felt ignored, undervalued, ignored. And that's what they said, that it's like everything that you said to this person went ignored. So you're like, you tell me that you care about me, you come in, you breadcrumb, you leave, I say something to you, you ignore what I say. So you're continually making me feel bad about myself because you're not valuing me. And now everybody knows, if you really cared about me, you would show me time, energy, your words would match your actions. I don't feel safe. I never know. Emotionally, you didn't feel safe. Psychologically, you didn't feel safe because you felt like this person kept showing you illusions, trying to deceive you into them getting what they want without giving you anything. And then when you called them out on it, and they would do things to deliberately stay away from you, almost like to punish you, like I said, stonewall you. It's like they would kind of play the one-up-you game. Okay, now that you're asking me to act different, to respect you, well, I'm going to do something else to bother you. And I feel like they took it to the extreme where they really know that they should have given you an apology, and there's a sense of, again, undervaluing you. I don't have to apologize to you. I'll avoid you. And eventually you'll get over it. Almost assuming like you're on a low vibration that you would accept such behavior. Like a person not giving you anything, you're not able to communicate with this person. They're overly sensitive. They twist everything around. And then instead of them being able to have a conversation, they completely ignore you, avoid you, treat you bad, and don't apologize, but then think that they can pop back up in your life whenever they want to pop up back into your life. And again, this is all the same thing: excluded, ignored, undervalued. It's again, I want you in my life without doing a damn thing. I want you to be there when I want you to be there. I want you to give me what I want to give you, but I don't want to give you anything. Very selfish energy. Very selfish energy. So are they going to do anything, or are they just going to stay in this energy? And I also want to see, well, what do they feel? Again, what did they feel about you? Are they going to do anything? Like what? I'm just going to pull 3 from this deck because I'm just curious, because even though this person played a lot of games, do they regret what they did? I feel like they do regret what they did, but on what level? Is it just because you didn't give them anything and now they have to look at themselves and they don't like the reality that you showed them, the truth, that they're not all that in a bag of chips, that they're not that smart, that they can't deceive everyone, that you got away? Or do they really see like that they screwed up a good connection? Not that that would matter in a lot of you, because you'd be like, I don't really care what this person shows me now. There was someone interfering in our relationship. So again, they weren't giving you any time because there was someone there the whole time. And that person isn't getting what they need either. So it's almost like, I feel like this person pretends that they hide behind work, that they're so important. They pretend to be someone that they're not. When meanwhile, I feel like they get together with different people. They drain those people of their resources. So you think that you're dealing with a person that has their shit together. They don't. They're shacked up with someone else. They're living with somebody else. They're getting money from someone else. So to you, they're only going to let you in so much. And this is why you were like, okay, you're not giving me anything. You're leaving me out. You exclude me. I'm not a part of your life. I'm telling you. And instead you gaslight me. You run away. This person couldn't give you anything. Because again, the person that they shacked up with, they, obviously wants their time, wants their energy, and they're getting something from that person. They don't want to be with that person in that way. They want to be with someone where they can drain them of their resources so that they can get what they want without really having to do that much work. I feel like they got together with a karmic, and that connection was very sexual. And now it is no longer sexual. And the karmic is like, well, what the hell is going on? You've been living with me, living off my resources. And now it's almost like this person was looking to like find another person. And the way that they do that is by, again, connecting to that person very sexually. And again, having one foot in and one foot out, and training the new person while leaving the old person. So it's, again, you always think that you're dealing with someone that's a lot stronger than they actually are. This person is hiding who they are. That's why they're undervaluing you. I'm not ready. Of course they're not ready. They're not ready to leave the person, because that person's supporting them. And this person knows that you're over it. You're like, I'm not going to be with you. You haven't given me anything. This is the same story that continues to play out. You want to come into my life, you want everything, and you want to give nothing. And I'm not doing it. And you're not doing it. And that's really what it is. You're like, I'm not doing this, and I don't want to do it. I'm tired of your constant betrayal. You're a narcissist. You only care about yourself. You're really insecure. And I feel like you've gotten to a place where you're disgusted. This person was hoping that you would reminisce and be stuck in the nostalgia. That's not what's happening. It's almost like what's happening is you're not giving this person anything, and they're actually becoming very obsessive compulsive because of the guilt that they know that they, again, didn't want to tell you anything. They, not that you would have been with them, but when they get out of this situation, if they ever get out of this situation, they might have had a chance to be with you, or you see them differently. There's a sense that you don't see them as anything except for like an asshole, someone that like was a liar and a cheater, someone that wanted to have their cake and eat it too, someone that the entire time you tried to tell them anything, they were just full of being stubborn and acting like they didn't care. And really what you see now is that they're full of resentment because they don't have ownership of their own life. Someone interfering in their life because they're like, hey, listen, you know, you've been feeding off me this whole time. Do you think that you were going to use me? Because you're not going to use me. So it's almost like this person was looking for a scapegoat out of their situation. And they're resentful because, hey, you see right through it. You're saying, hey, you haven't given me anything. I see the whole time you have one foot in, one foot out. And I feel like this person thought that the spiritual connection, again, the knowledge and the wisdom is the higher self, isn't enough because they were disassociated from you the whole time. And they avoided you the whole time. They didn't want you to blame them. And that you see right through the lies and the illusions that they're not really who they are, and that they neglected you because, again, they're self-neglecting themselves. They're connected to somebody that's keeping them in a very low vibration. And because they don't feel good about themselves, in order to feel good about themselves, they have to kind of, again, not take responsibility, use other people, and then just act very self-righteous. This is who this person is. If that's the mask, they're going to act as if very arrogant, as if they have their life all together and that their life is great, but their life isn't great. They have their foot in a lot of different doorways. They have their hand in a lot of different cookie jars to get their needs met. So they're not going to give you anything, and they're not going to let you get close enough to see the shit show of a life that they have going on. That's why people interfere in this person's life, because they're like, wait a minute. You took my money, you took my resources, you came in all lovey-dovey, you promised me all the everything, you created illusions, and now there's payback because you're not going to get over. You're not going to get over. This person thought that they were going to get over on you, that you were going to be the next person. And you know what you did? You stopped that karmic cycle. You said, not today, not with me. It stops here. It's like, because this person makes a career out of it, meaning that when they're done with one relationship, after they've drained the energy and used up everything that they can use up, they again are on to the next. And they always have one foot in somebody else's doorway. So they're never 100% present. So, but no one's ever getting anything. They're only getting breadcrumbs. And unless you have come from a place where you've only gotten breadcrumbs, you wouldn't notice. And if you haven't healed, I believe whatever healing you needed to do, you've done it. You recognize the breadcrumbs. This person didn't expect that. They have resentment because you see it. They have resentment because you're not going to let them utilize you for that. And we have to say, why did you attract this person? Aside from just learning a spiritual lesson, again, a lot of times you might have learned the lesson, but you still had to go through the experience. And that's where, again, I feel you've been in relationships before where there was not equal give and take reciprocity. So you became overly sensitive to making sure that your needs were going to be met. And this person, right from the gate, didn't show you that because they didn't perceive you to be someone like that. They perceived you as being someone that was going to be all taken with this spiritual connection that you weren't going to be realizing that you weren't getting that much. But they also like couldn't give you that much when you started to ask for it because someone was interfering in the connection, which I believe was the biggest thing. It's actually, you might have been like, well, that karmic person prevented you guys from being together. Best thing, the best thing, because they would have dated you and dated 80 other people at the same time. And that's part of the reason why this person's angry also, because they couldn't get over on you. They're angry. They're full of resentment because, again, they're relying on other people now to survive because anything that they've created, they've lost due to their like reckless behavior of using other people. But the best thing is that you didn't allow the karmic cycle to continue with you. You stopped it. It's like you saw right through it. This person never expected that. They thought for sure that they were setting it all up for themselves. And so again, why did you attract this person? Well, these are the inner childhood wounds, and one of your wounds was self-sabotage. And the way that you would self-sabotage yourself was to give your energy, your opportunities, your resources to people that were not deserving of it. To people like you would always try to save the person, and in that it would wind up hurting you. So that's self-sabotaging behaviorism because you didn't love yourself enough. So I believe that you've done a lot of work on yourself. So you're like, I do love myself enough to realize that the person's not coming in with equal give and take reciprocity. I'm not giving them anything. And I feel like that's why you actually stayed back. This person didn't expect that. They, again, thought you were going to get so caught up in the spiritual connection. And again, they're a little delusional because they've played this game before. I feel like, again, they always have one foot in one person's doorway and one foot in another person's doorway. And, you know, talking to other people too, it's like they don't feel safe and they feel like they need to be in control. And the way that they're in control is to not give anyone really any part of them, but then make sure that they're always making sure that their needs are met. Protection, again, and growing up in an environment where your needs were not met. So again, not having parents. So again, self-sabotaging behaviorisms. Remember, if you came from an imbalanced environment where maybe there's no father, so you're the person that had to work, and every time you made money, you had to fork it over to your mom that needed money for food, bills, for survival. So you were never able to enjoy your time. That would be a trauma. Okay. The protection that you should have gotten is, again, when a mother is a mother, a father is a father. That's not just when they show up emotionally for you, but also financially. If our parents couldn't provide, it's not that we blame them. Understand they probably inherited the trauma themselves, but unfortunately, we all are responsible to figure out how we can pay our own bills, how we can be self-sufficient. And if a child continues to see their parents struggle financially, emotionally, psychologically, well, then that child will overcompensate and ignore their needs to give to their parent as a way to get love from that parent. And I feel like that's what happened. And that is taught behavior, again, that kept the child safe growing up, gave that child emotional support, psychological safety, and possibly even like the support of safety, financial support, and the other things that the child needed, where now they're out of that situation and they meet a person that their life is a mess. And that trained behavior of being on a rescue mission, making everything okay again, because that was the behavior that was reliant, you were reliant to get emotional needs met growing up, is now going to be sabotaging behaviorism. So it was to break the karmic cycle of being like, you have to love yourself first. You didn't pay, this person like has a shitload of karma, and they have a shitload of karma because they don't treat anyone right. They use people. They lie. They create illusions to pretend that they're someone that they're not. And then they come in to the relationship and they have no problem using everybody else's resources to get what they want. And then once they suck the person dry and pick the bones of everything that's left, then they move on and they leave the person in a dumpster fire, when meanwhile this last karmic person was like, not on me, you're not going to do that. So making them pay, and they thought that this is nothing that's new for this person. They were ready to again run to you're just like, not today. So you're actually stopping the karmic consequences from like happening to you. You're making this person have to take in the negative karmic retribution that they collected, which is a huge thing. Otherwise, you would have paid the karmic consequences. And so again, isolation, being alone, feeling alone, which would have been, again, when you self-sabotage yourself and you don't do, but you're doing for broken people, those broken people can't give you back in return. This is what you learn from childhood, that you used your time, your energy for your parents. You loved them because they were your parents, but you realized that it didn't advance you. It actually, it held you back because you were using your time, your energy, your resources for others, where Spirit said you needed to learn the lesson that it's about you first, loving yourself first, because you have God inside, and that supernatural part of you allows you to create your life. You're down there in physical form, you're down on the planet Earth to be the expression of love. By giving and receiving of love, that's how you get your daily bread. That's how you get your money. And you're making things happen. You're strong. You're very like you're a good catch for this person. But it's mainly because their life is in a shit show. And so they see everything that you have to offer, but they didn't earn it. So, and that's really what the spiritual lesson for you was, to stop self-sabotaging behaviors by caring too much about other people. Where instead of caring about yourself, taking care of yourself, making yourself strong so that you can really help other people, but not help a person like that, because that person doesn't really want to be helped. They just want to utilize your resources to continue their toxic behavior because they haven't stopped it yet. It's again, this is a pattern for them, and they run to people that, like I said, that are good people, that have, resources, that have worked hard, and they're seeing them for everything that they can utilize them for. So Spirit says we end this reading off with serenity, like meaning that you need to again stay in a place of serenity. This person, like you said, it's all about them creating chaos in your life, which is the opposite of serenity. So through love, release, and inner work, I know peace. I have gentle view of life and welcome every step with confidence. I remain brave in the face of fear and have the wisdom to let the universe do its work. So it's, again, I believe, always getting back to that place of peace, at ease. At ease is the opposite of disease, right? So again, when we're in that energy at ease and serenity, we are open to what the universe is bringing to us. In this situation, it was to help you solidify that spiritual lesson. We get to solidify the spiritual lesson when we go through the karmic lesson and handle it differently. Where Spirit said, yes, yes, we know that you've learned it because you've done a lot of work, but let's see whether you really learned it. And they bring you the situation, and here there was a very strong spiritual connection. That's what this person was banking on. They were like, oh, you're going to give it all up to me because you love me. We have the spiritual connection. It's going to work out. And really, what you showed them is, no, we're not, because you never gave me equal give and take reciprocity. And now this person really is stuck, like with their back against the wall but know when to run, because they were so sure that you were going to take them in. We're going to leave that there. Scorpio, you let me know how you resonated with this one, and I'll talk to you soon.